Building wealth isn't about making more money. It's about keeping more money. That idea sounds simple, yet it may be one of the most misunderstood concepts in personal finance. Most people spend their lives believing that financial freedom begins with a higher income. They tell themselves that the next raise, the next promotion, the next business opportunity, or the next job will finally solve their money problems. Unfortunately, millions of people earn substantial incomes and still experience financial stress every month. The reason is surprisingly simple. Income alone does not create wealth. Wealth is created by what remains after spending. A person earning $50,000 while keeping and investing $10,000 may be building more long-term wealth than someone earning $200,000 and spending nearly all of it. Another important lesson is understanding the difference between income and wealth. Income is money that flows into your financial system. Wealth is money that stays within your financial system and continues working for you. Most people focus heavily on increasing income while paying very little attention to retaining it. This creates a cycle where financial pressure remains regardless of how much money is earned. Another major issue is that modern culture celebrates earning more but rarely discusses keeping more. Social media highlights expensive lifestyles. Advertising encourages constant consumption. Financial success becomes associated with visible spending rather than invisible ownership. Wealthy individuals frequently think differently. They focus less on appearance and more on accumulation. They understand that every dollar kept has the potential to become an asset. Every dollar invested has the potential to generate future income. A critical lesson is that wealth building rarely begins with a dramatic financial breakthrough. It usually begins with a simple shift in perspective. The goal is not merely increasing income. The goal is ensuring that a growing percentage of income remains available to create future freedom. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to build wealth is lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation occurs when spending increases every time income increases. A raise leads to a larger apartment. A promotion leads to a newer vehicle. Higher earnings create additional subscriptions, convenient services, vacations, and recurring expenses. Financial pressure remains because spending grows alongside income. Many consumers mistakenly believe they have an income problem when they actually have a retention problem. Wealthy individuals often reverse this pattern intentionally. When income increases, savings increase first. Investing increases first. Ownership increases first. Ownership increases first. Lifestyle improvements happen later. Another important lesson is understanding that wealth is often built in the gap between earnings and spending. Two individuals can earn identical incomes while creating completely different financial futures. One person directs excess income toward consumption. The other directs excess income toward assets. Over time, the difference becomes extraordinary. Another major principle is understanding that every dollar has a job. Some dollars support necessities. Some dollars create security. Some dollars eliminate debt. Some dollars purchase ownership. Wealthy individuals assign responsibilities to money intentionally because unassigned money frequently disappears through convenient spending and emotional purchases. Another important lesson is that financial freedom is not determined by how much money enters a bank account. It is determined by how much flexibility remains after obligations have been paid. Flexibility creates options. Options create freedom. Another critical lesson is that retaining money does not mean living a deprived lifestyle. It means being intentional. It means directing resources toward priorities instead of allowing spending habits to dictate outcomes automatically. The more income someone retains and invests, the greater their future opportunities become. Wealth accumulation begins when spending stops expanding at the same pace as earnings. A major wealth rule that rarely receives enough attention is understanding the power of ownership. Most people spend the majority of their income acquiring liabilities. They purchase items that require ongoing payments, maintenance, and future spending. Wealthy individuals frequently prioritize acquiring assets. Assets have the potential to increase in value, generate income, or improve future financial flexibility. Another important lesson is recognizing the difference between consumption and ownership. Consumption provides temporary satisfaction. Ownership creates long-term opportunity. A consumer purchase may feel rewarding today, but an investment can continue providing value for years or even decades. A major principle is understanding opportunity cost. Every dollar spent on unnecessary consumption loses the ability to serve another purpose. It cannot simultaneously become an investment, reduce debt, strengthen an emergency fund, or purchase an asset. Wealthy individuals often evaluate spending decisions differently. Instead of asking whether they can afford something, they ask what they are giving up by making the purchase. Another important lesson is understanding compound growth. Money that remains invested begins producing additional money. Those gains eventually begin producing their own gains. Over long periods of time, compound growth can transform modest contributions into substantial wealth. Another major issue is impatience. Many people abandon financial plans because results appear slow during the early stages. Wealthy individuals remain patient because they understand that compound growth often appears invisible before becoming obvious. Another critical principle is consistency. Ownership is rarely built through one large investment. It is usually built through repeated contributions made over many years. Small amounts invested consistently often outperform large amounts invested inconsistently. This is why keeping more money matters so much. Retained income creates opportunities for ownership. Ownership creates growth. Growth eventually creates financial independence. An important reason keeping more money matters is because financial security affects nearly every area of life. Most people think wealth only influences bank accounts. In reality, wealth influences stress levels, confidence, relationships, opportunities, and decision-making. Someone living paycheck to paycheck frequently experiences constant pressure. Unexpected expenses create anxiety. Career changes feel risky. Opportunities become difficult to pursue because financial flexibility is limited. Wealth changes that dynamic. Emergency reserves create stability. Stability creates confidence. Confidence improves decision-making. Better decisions often create better financial outcomes. Another important lesson is understanding that financial freedom is ultimately about options. Wealth provides choices. It allows individuals to make decisions based on values instead of financial necessity. Another major principle is automation. Wealthy individuals frequently automate positive financial behavior because automation removes emotional inconsistency. Savings become automatic. Investing becomes automatic. Debt reduction becomes automatic. Systems continue functioning regardless of mood, motivation, or circumstances. Another important lesson is that most financial progress happens quietly. Automatic transfers, consistent investing, controlled spending. None of these activities appear exciting. Yet over time they become extraordinarily powerful. Another critical lesson is avoiding comparison. Many people compare themselves to individuals displaying expensive lifestyles. Wealthy individuals frequently focus on net worth, ownership, cash flow, and financial flexibility instead. The goal is not looking wealthy. The goal is becoming wealthy. The goal is becoming wealthy. Another major issue is that visible consumption often hides invisible financial stress. Many people appear financially successful while carrying significant debt and limited savings. True wealth is usually less visible than most people imagine because ownership often grows quietly behind the scenes. The truth is that building wealth is not primarily about making more money. It is about keeping more money. Income creates opportunity, but retention creates wealth. Every dollar saved creates flexibility. Every dollar invested creates potential. Every dollar protected from unnecessary spending increases future options. Wealthy individuals understand that financial freedom is built through direction rather than income alone. Another important lesson is understanding that awareness creates control. Once spending patterns become visible, improvements become possible. Once financial leaks become measurable, they become manageable. Another major principle is assigning every dollar a purpose. Money without direction often finds its way toward consumption. Money with direction builds assets, security, and freedom. Another important lesson is understanding the value of patience. Most people want immediate financial transformation. Wealth building rarely works that way. Compound growth rewards consistency more than intensity. Small improvements repeated over long periods often create extraordinary results. Another major principle is focusing on ownership. Ownership creates income. Ownership creates flexibility. Ownership creates future opportunity. Every retained dollar has the potential to become an asset capable of improving your financial future. Another critical lesson is understanding that financial success is not measured by lifestyle alone. It is measured by freedom. Freedom to make choices. Freedom to pursue opportunities. Freedom to control your time. Freedom to live with less financial stress. Keep more. Invest more. Protect cash flow. Build ownership. Stay consistent. Let compound growth do the work. If this helped, then like and subscribe to The Daily Yield, because we're building real financial progress, one step at a time.